Pantsless Tables, Pantsless Pride event, raising funds for PFLAG. I am on loan from the House of Dreams. Tonight, we are going to be doing Interlude 5 of A Season's Oath, a Wander Home journey. It is a Season's Oath is a Wander Home, well, has been a Wander Home actual play series of hope, exploration, and deep magic. A West Marches, Hex Crawl, an OSR inspired, folklore inspired journey with a rotating cast of travelers who weave in and out of the saga. All of them seeking to understand a magic bestowed upon them by the venerable and forgotten gods of flame, form, dark, and wind. This journey will take them to many forgotten and sacred places all over the land of Hythe. Tonight's one shot is going to showcase the full rules of Wander Home by Possum Creek Games, including seasons, holidays, guest playbooks and natures, and J Dragon's homebrew Patreon magic rules. As I said earlier, we are raising funds here at our Pantsless Pride event for the second year in a war, which is a Crit Award nominated event last year. There's still time to vote if if you enjoyed last year and if you're enjoying this year. We would love your support because PFLAG, which is the organization we're raising funds for, is an incredible organization dedicated to supporting, educating, and advocating for LGBTQ plus people and those who love them. We do have giveaways going on. They're not specific. They're not specific to any game. They're milestone based. Let's see here. What else do we got?
We're giving away Wander Home in the chat right now.
Oh, yes. We're giving away Wander Home in the chat. Okay, awesome. That is amazing. So please, please, please enter that. Wander Home is a wonderful game. It's why I'm running it tonight. So without further ado, I'd like to mention our incentives and then introduce our travelers. Our incentives are for $5, you can give our group a token that they may use or save. For $15, you can introduce a new kith. A kith named that has not yet met the travelers on their current journeys, introduced into the scene, such as from the backstory of one of the travelers or from the current place they're exploring. If all the named kith have been met already, the group will just look at the common animal folk of the place we're visiting, and we'll create a new kith to meet and interact with together. If you donate $25, we have two different incentives. One is you can bring in a relic. The travelers will discover a relic, a special kith that is an inanimate object that confers the traveler that carries it with a supernatural trait, as if they were a kith themselves. Each relic also has a unique bit of Hythe lore that comes with it. A roll on a special chart will determine what relic is found on the journey. Yes, dice in a diceless game. Also, for $25, you can give any of the travelers a magic trait. The traveler will gain the first level of a new path of magic, deepening their connection to the venerable and forgotten gods. We have a donation goal. So for every $50 raised during this stream, we're going to awaken a folklore, which the folklore of the current nature being directly interacted with will be immediately brought into the current scene, or if we're all vibing and we're in the middle of something, like important and emotional, the scene immediately after. Now, let's introduce our cast of travelers. I will start with myself. I am Okami, and I am your guide. I will be portraying the place, and I will be portraying all the various kith. I'm going to go ahead and popcorn this over to Gilly. Gilly, please tell us your name, your pronouns, your character's name, their playbook, their pronouns, and what kind of animal they are, and then popcorn it over to another player of your choice.
I can do this. As you may be able to guess what animal I am, really should spend I should spend the stream like this, but I feel like that would be really uncomfortable for my neck, so I'm not going to do that. Um, I'm Jilly. You can find me at Oh Look It's Jilly most places on the internet. My pronouns are she, her, and today I will be playing Pippa, the peddler penguin, because I'm a fan of plosives. Um, and she is a penguin. Her pronouns are she, they. I have described this character in my character sheet as the platonic ideal of a penguin. She's just really, really
Round.
small and real cute. If you watch Pingu, there's big Pingu vibes. And if you don't watch Pingu, you should watch Pingu because it is the greatest children's television show ever created. Um, anyway, I will popcorn it over to Addie.
I'm Addy GS, and I will be playing Sybil. My pronouns and hers are she, and Sybil is a kukri snake, which is an Indian egg-eating snake. Um, but she will not be eating eggs. I guess she'll be eating insects and or maybe insect eggs.
Mhm.
um,
That's Wanderhome for you.
Yeah, she is extremely boopable and dresses like librarian core. She is the poet archetype, and so I wrote a poem to start, and I will probably be trying to do that all night long. I guess I'll popcorn it to Nicola.
Heck yeah. Oh no, my mic fell over. Okay, that was smooth. That is. Hi, I'm Nicola. And ha, fix my mic. There we go. I'm Nicola, or Nicola the Druid. And I tonight will be playing Juniper, the Quokka Fool. She is a Quokka, the happiest little animal on the planet. And she is a bit naive, but she wears so many beads and a cloak that is just not acceptable for any kind of weather. And she hopes that everybody asks her about it, even though everybody's too polite to ask her. She also has a little pet who will appear later, whose name is Fidget. I decided that name 20 minutes ago. And I'm going to popcorn to Toby.
Oh boy. Hello, my name is Toby. I use he, him. I will be playing uh, Farron. He is a shepherd for a bunch of bees, and he also uses he, him. He is the oldest man alive, and he is also a. Uh, my brain stopped working for a minute. He is a Highland cow.
That that's cool. A Highland cow shepherd. Hmm. Toby, I think your sound is gone. You still there?
Yep. Am I? Is it working?
Okay,
It
you're.
is now, but you
Right.
dipped for a good long time.
Yeah, you dipped
Yeah.
for just a second.
Oh goodness gracious! I will stay smack dab right here in front of the mic. Then I am so sorry.
Okay, all good, all good. We just wanted to hear your amazing voice and hear about your Highland cow shepherd, which I think is fantastic. Shepherds and Wanderhome should always be herd animals from our world, and that is just perfect. Um, so, without further ado, let's let's get this journey going. Um, at the beginning of every journey, it's important to answer four important questions as we go into the place that all these travelers are heading towards. The first question is, what sort of place did we just travel from? Not where you're going, but where you just came from.
I think it was very busy, right? There was a high traffic area, not necessarily very, you know, residentially populated, but just like an area where a lot of travelers pass through.
Mm.
I think
Uh,
it's a pilgrimage location. It's got a lot of history. It's got a lot of like there's a lot of there are travelers that go through there, and that's because it's a destination. But
Hmm.
uh and there's just like old architecture and landmarks that have seen thousands of years of happenings and people's comings and goings.
Wow. Is there anything else you want to add, our Quokka friend? Was there anything special that captured your traveler's attention while you were there?
Um, the whole time we were there was the quietest that you've ever seen Juniper, because uh, she was just raking it all in. And the second we left, she has just been regurgitating it all back to you as we've been walking away. She goes, did you remember?
Very, very
You remember
cool.
that plinth? And then they were like, there's all this writing on the plinth. And so, but that so many people have gone to see that plinth, and now we also saw that, and that connects us to all these other people. And she just says, "Not shut up."
I think as Juniper does this, uh, there is like a certain amount of Sybil is like paying really, really close attention to what it was that you noticed. So, yes, the plinth, that was like an amazing piece of architecture. How did it like affect you? What did it feel like? Um,
Mm.
and she's mining you for writing.
uh, so,
She's also holding a souvenir.
mhm,
We didn't know where the souvenir came from. Don't ask.
don't
But
know.
she's also holding a souvenir that she picked up, and it. She will not shut up.
uh,
Perfect.
Farron, how did you and the Bumbles fare in this pilgrimage place?
I think uh, I think he fared pretty well. There was a lot of bustling and hustling, a lot of people looking for honey. But goodness gracious, did it make him very tired to talk to that many people. So while they are traveling, he is definitely very just kind of quiet, and like occasionally uh when Juniper is talking about all these different things, he's just looking over, patting patting Juniper on the head to just let let her know that he is listening, but he is currently very quietly weary, just trundling along with everybody.
Hmm. So, next question. Do we feel our journey has been long? Have you been together for a really long time? Or have you been together for a short time? Or something in between?
I think probably something in between. Um, and I think that it does feel in particular that this last part of the journey was long, not because there was any great distance or anything, but in places that are very social and populated, it can just drain you very quickly. And
Mhm.
especially because Pippa, as a peddler, is constantly kind of interacting with people. Um, I think it has felt like a long stretch that we have been in this previous place. Um, but I don't think that it's necessary. Like, I think we knew each other maybe for longer than we traveled together. Like we had interacted
Mm.
previously in most cases before we went there.
Okay. Does that sound good to everybody else? Is there anything anyone wants to add?
Definitely sounds good to me. We've definitely been to many destinations, but nobody has reached the destination yet.
And that is going to it's the perfect segue into the next question. Is there somewhere we hope to go?
I think specifically Farron is, after such a hustle and bustle, is looking for something slightly less chaotic, but he's not holding up too much hope on that.
Mm.
I
How about
think
everyone?
Sybil is really open-hearted. Like she's approaching this from a what comes right now, because there is a lot of, like, she's discovered a lot so far about herself and about her friends, and I think that she's looking for new types of scenarios to observe her friends in. So something calm, something serene or beautiful would be nice. But I don't think she'd be upset if it was something totally different.
Okay.
We kind of discussed this in our session 0, but literally Juniper is just happy to be here,
Mm-hmm.
um, and is happy to be anywhere but where we were before, because then we get to go to a new place. And
Right.
so she kind of tags along and says yes to every single one of the places that is suggested.
Mm. And what about our peddler?
I think Pippa is excited about the prospect of getting to, like, because as she's traded wares, her beetle who carries all of her supplies, Sebastian, um, is now carrying a new load of things that have come from the the place we were just. So I think she's kind of wanting to kind of wander and see where things are take us. I think she's sort of amiable to whatever is being suggested, but she does have kind of strong feelings about, not too hot. We need to make sure we you you just don't want to end up somewhere dusty. Um, yes. Dust terrible for business, terrible for business.
Well, and finally, but silently in our heads, where is my home? And with that, we begin our journey. I want to extend an invitation to all of you as my players. I'm going to describe the place that we're going, what it's like, its natures, its aesthetics, and a series of moves, folklores, what kind of animals are from there, and how the small and forgotten gods manifest. You all have access to this document if you're more of a reader than a listener. But I want to let you know that even though I am the guide, you are all welcome to take on the mantle of this place and perform these place moves and share the story with me. You don't have to. As the guide, I am taking responsibility for the mental load, for ensuring this place goes, and playing all the kith. But that is not a shut door. That is not a locked gate. If you are feeling inspired, you are welcome to join me in guiding the rest of the group and bringing this place to life. We're all clear on that? Excellent. And without further ado, let me tell you about Pale Moon Junction. Pale Moon Junction is a place where the rule of kings was driven out during the war, yet replaced with the power of peddler barons who control the lives of the locals via wooden coins paid to day laborers who work the land's massive cotton fields. Deeds signed by the desperate to have a home and access to the steam powered railway station. Yet, even in this oppressive state of post war hegemony, the local kith still strive for freedom, and juke joint taverns throughout the corners of Pale Moon, transgressive and esoteric music is played on wooden stages, with sacred yet raucous dances that call to the small and forgotten gods performed on the dance floor, bringing joy to the disenfranchised cotton day laborers, rail workers, and shop clerks. These nighttime celebrations push the local kith ever closer to true freedom. The natures of this place are: it is a shanty town, a rare place in the shadow of wealth, where life is a daily struggle and your home is not your own. It is a tavern, a place of simple comfort, often settled into while on the journey from one land to the next. And it is also a farm, a place where people live unremarkable lives, deeply rooted in the turning of the seasons and the work that must be done. Aesthetics for Pale Moon Junction: barrels and barrels of mead, a great hall jam packed with layabouts, rapscallions and merrymakers, crops as far as the eye can see, transgressive art, beautiful and entirely new, wealth and extravagance juxtaposed with poverty and desolation. Our place moves are: this place can always describe a small comfort, sow confusion among the disoriented, offer someone comfort and amenities at a price, give them a token if they refuse the offer, describe the calm mundanity of everyday life, reveal the thin margins that people live on, ask, hey, want to help out? Give them a token if they pitch in whatever way they can. Describe the monotony and alienation of everyday life, as well as the love and joy that blossoms despite it. Show the entangled webs that trade creates, and those caught in the threads and ignored. And last but not least, offer an easy gain that will only hurt strangers. Give them a token if they refuse the offer and find another way. Folklores of this place: the cat with the magic banjo, the blood-sucking monster that owns the land, and the haints that haunt the land at sundown. Common animal folk are raccoons, crows, foxes, coyotes, and robins. And the small and forgotten gods are haints, cotton pixies, and will-o'-wisps. So, I'm going to propose a question to the group. There's two places that I feel would be an amazing place for the group to arrive. Do you want to arrive at the train station under the light of day? Or do you want to arrive at a juke joint right after sundown? It is the holiday of sunrise, which I will go ahead and describe to you all. It's an end of the year holiday. The season of chill, which is the winter season in Hythe, is over. It is cold, but it's starting to get warm. So I'm talking like late winter, early spring is what you're looking at here. Sunrise is the last flickering of stars of the old year brush against the hopeful youth of the new. Most people are asleep as the morning dawn comes. Welcome something new to us. But for the lucky few that stay up, it can mean everything. In Pale Moon Junction, the traditions for sunrise are rambling jokes, mock fights, whispered confessions, lying in piles, and sneaking away. As the sun rises, everyone can always get a token whenever you have fun with people you care about, even if you only just met them. Spend a token to spot something fantastical and impossible that no one should ever get to see, and smile. So, my travelers, for Sunrise and Pale Moon Junction, you've reached the end of the year. Do we want to start our journey under the light of the sun, arriving at the train station, or outside of a juke joint right after sundown? Which would you prefer?
What is a juke joint?
A juke joint is a massive building that has been turned into a place where there is music, alcohol, and food served, and there is partying and good times throughout the entirety of the night. There's a dance floor, there's a stage, there's a piano, there's a bar, there's a kitchen. Sometimes there's private rooms on the side for whatever needs to be done. But for the most part, the focus is the music and the good times. And it's where people in Pale Moon Junction like to go after a long day of working. It's not to say you won't eventually end up at the juke joint.
I feel like have we been traveling? How have we been traveling?
Well, it is up to the group.
That was a
It,
question for the group. Sorry.
oh yeah, no, go ahead. I'm
Yeah,
so
yeah,
sorry. I'm so go ahead.
Bumbles go on the train? Is that a thing we can do?
I assume they probably have like a
Mm-hmm. They have a train card just for herd animals, and they would also have a large. If you decide to come on the train, there would be large, like I'm talking like massive carts for livestock.
Yeah, Sebastian would have to go probably in one of the larger cars because
Mm-hmm.
he's a big beetle.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, here's the thing. As a player, I watch Sinners, so I think the juke joint at night very dangerous. Pippa, however, is like, these people hanging out celebrating. Maybe they need things. Maybe they want to trade things. But a train station is kind of a hub of
yeah.
like that appeals to me as kind of an
I,
introduction.
a part of me, just as a storyteller, is going. A train station is where you arrive into a town.
Mm-hmm.
Sure, that
Yeah.
is valid.
Just
All
like
right.
I'm team
we're
train.
arriving, so yeah.
Team train. Team train.
Team train.
Okay. All
Good.
right. Farron, are we cool with you arriving in the train, maybe sleeping with your bumbles in the big hay laden bumble car?
Oh yeah, absolutely. He is in the back, just loudly just sawing logs near all of his bumbles, hat over his head, sleeping.
Love it. Love it. Uh so we begin our journey with the sound of a loud train whistle as it pulls in. And all of our travelers disembarking. Farron and their bumbles, Pippa and Sebastian, off ramps, kind of being uh, put down for you to kind of make your way, and Sybil and Juniper, hopping off the train after just a beautiful ride through the country. The train station is filled with people going back and forth in different directions. That's a shiny, like wooden platform and a big, huge sign that says, "Welcome to Pale Moon Junction." There's various buskers playing music, and everyone just all kinds of activity going on as people are getting off and getting ready to get back on the train.
I think in the midst of all the bustle of everybody getting off the train, Farron's taking the time to count all the bumbles as they come off, and then count everybody that he's traveled with, making sure that everybody is sticking around the group while everything is going in and out of the train.
Right. Uh, I am going to describe a small comfort as there's a little food stand nearby that's grilling up some grilled vegetable kebabs. Uh, and the smell of it just sort of is just like wafting over to all of you um, and enticing you over.
Pippa will waddle over and will kind of gesture to the group as is the kind of like, you want one? And we'll get them for whoever wants them, and then we'll obviously get one for Sebastian. Um,
Mhm.
I don't know
Uh,
if the Bumbles eat kebabs.
well, they're veggie kebabs, so who knows? Maybe
I
they're
mean,
much
I guess
they're much more
Pippa.
interested in pollen, I will say.
Let's be
For
clear. Pippa would know. Jilly does not
oh,
know.
okay. No, no, they would be much more interested in pollen, like wildflower pollen. So they
Um,
probably don't eat kebabs except for maybe as a little treat. Um,
Juniper hops behind. Um, oh my gosh, everybody's name just bleeped me.
Farron or
Farron,
Sybil? Okay.
Sybil, yes, hops up to the stand, and like peeks over and is like, can I also have that?" And she points to like some of the cuttings off of where they were like slicing in the trash. And can I, in addition to a kebab, can I also have one of those? And she's like trying to balance this ball, while she's trying to point over the thing for a little piece of like compost in the back.
Oh. So it's a raccoon. Who's got he's got like a chef's apron and a shirt underneath, and he's like, what do you need the compost for, darling?"
And she's got this ball, and she kind of like positions it in front of herself, and a little antennas pop out, and a little face, because it's her pill bug. Um,
Oh, it's for your pet. That's fine. Hold on, darling. And like goes over and he gets some of the compost and puts it on like a little like he takes some newsprint and puts it on the newsprint and he's like, "Here you go." And there's some extra so that you can feed him later as well.
and she like slides it into the little ball, and just the ball closes back up, and she's just like holding it. Fidget says thank you.
All good. I hope Fidget enjoys. So, is this your first time in Pale Moon Junction? Are you coming in for the Sunrise Festivals?
First time.
Hmm. Well, you should most definitely find yourself a decent juke joint to have some drinks and some food to celebrate sunrise. Most of them will have somewhere for people to crash because, you know, nobody wants people walking around on the road, in the middle of the night, inebriated. You never know when a hate might get you.
That is
Are
fair.
there
Is there a juke joint that you would recommend?
Well, um, you could probably go to Stock and Smokies. They play really, really good
Smokies?
music. They just opened up recently.
May I ask? Um, you mentioned haints.
Hmm.
Is there a sincere danger, a serious danger of that?
Well, Hank's a kind of small god, but not a particularly nice one because Hanks are what happen when the spirits of the dead have unresolved issues, and there's something about the forests around here, some sort of strange magic, and so if they don't resolve their issues, typically they'll just become small or forgotten gods, and I don't know, they eat people's feelings.
Really?
Hmm.
There's a yelp, but I don't want to do that into my microphone.
They say if all of your feelings are eaten, you yourself become a haint.
That feels very sad.
It is. But there's lots of
Well,
stories of people, teaching hates how to love again.
I would love to hear them.
Well, there once was a girl named Sandy. They say that she was a cat. Sandy one time was absolutely bound and determined to save the Pale Moon Junction, or at least the village that was Pale Moon Junction before the train was here. Was bound and determined to stop these haints. She went out and she found a haint that was in the form of a young cat boy. And she just, before he could go up and eat all of her feelings, she just started telling him stories about her mama, stories about her siblings, stories about a boy she once loved that died of sickness, but she still holds on to his memory by lighting a candle for him every night. And she said, I'll light a candle for you. And what she didn't know was that the Hank was the boy. And as she lit the candle every single night, his memories came back. And then he was able to move on.
That's lovely.
That's one that my
I should
grandma
read it.
told me.
I'd like to offer you something. I think Pippa has sort of unconsciously kind of taken on some of the like twang of this of the person she's talking to.
Mm-hmm.
Um and she starts going through some papers that are all hooked onto part of Sebastian's kind of like satchels, I guess. Um and pulls out a sheaf of papers that are um, stories from like probably not the last place we were, but probably two places before that.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of just like nice children's stories. And Pippa holds it in her flippers and offers it and says, "These are stories from somewhere far." And that's not how she talks. I was blessed with these when we traveled near the ocean, and now I would like to give them to you in exchange for the story you just gave us.
Oh, well, that's mighty kind of you. Thank you so much. My children are going to love these. And he like opens up a satchel and very carefully puts it in. It's really, really hard to get books around here. We have to save up so many wooden nickels. Fortunately, I managed to get all kinds of barter and currency from different places all over Hythe here at my little stand, so I can that are
And I
more valuable than the wooden nickels that everybody gets paid here for working the fields.
oh, I deal in all sorts of things, and Sebastian here is my wonderful assistant.
Wow, that is a big stag beetle.
He is. He's very, very strong and very good at his job.
Uh, I am going to give you a token, Pippa, for doing something kind without getting anything in return.
Oh, thanks.
Well, as I said, uh, Smoky and Stalk's place is probably going to be your best bet. They're the ones that are the most amenable to newcomers. The other juke joints around here are much more for the locals, if you know what I'm saying. It's not that you won't be welcome. It's just, I don't know. I just think that you're nice folks, and you should go to the place that's going to treat you the best.
Well, that is
Thank you again for the wonderful story.
hmm If you want like exact directions, just talk to Delta over there, and he points to a corner, oh, maybe about like 10, 15 feet away. There's a little bit of a crowd, and you see uh, in the middle of this crowd is an elderly raccoon that is dressed in like a blue button down shirt with the first couple of buttons undone. He's wearing suspenders, some comfortable slacks. He's got some kind of well-worn like worker shoes, and he is killing it on the harmonica. Just doing the most epic harmonica solo that you have ever heard, and people are just clapping and into it. People's tails are wagging, their fur is on end, and there's something like really as or do a move as this kith, which is put on a big show with heightened emotions and histrionics. There is something so pure and emotional. There is a sadness, an intense sadness that is just being eluded in this harmonica playing. There are no words, just feelings. And you can see like his eyes are watery, small tears come out of the corner of his eyes, but he's just hitting that harmonica and occasionally stomping his feet to like, accompany himself. And what do you all do? Like, how are you responding? Do you head over? Do you wait till he's done?
I th- Sybil definitely heads over immediately. To like, Sybil will politely um, bid goodbye, um, and then turn to Delta and just try and get into the crowd so that she can see what's going on. And she'll sort of, she's not like a she's a little nervous about dancing and stuff like that, but Pippa has been breaking the ice on that. So she's like trying to move, and it's sort of not really exactly in time, but she's definitely feeling the music and is just trying to enjoy it the way that people. I think that Sybil is trying very hard with all of this journeying to understand what other people love about the things that they love and
Mm.
see those things through their eyes so that um, so that everything becomes lovely to her the way it is to somebody else.
Hmm.
And I think that the emotion that moves Delta to his music is strong and it's sad, but it's also beautiful. And so she is capturing angles, like moving her head to see what about him is so beautiful. Is it the angle of the chin? Is it the light reflecting off of the harmonica? Is it um, the feeling of energy around the people around him, or is it just the music? Is the music affecting how he looks somehow? What is the interplay there? And she's putting this all together, synthesizing in her mind as she's sort of moving to the music.
I would like to give you a token for taking a moment to watch a tiny moment of beauty and describing it to the table. Um, as everyone is new to Wander Home, I'm going to throw tokens at you whenever you do things that are within the moves, because I love doing that. But feel free to be proactive about the moves as well, uh, if you feel like it. We're it's vibes here, right? It's all vibes. So take a token for that because that was wonderful. Um, Farron, what about you? Do you follow Sybil, or do you stay behind, or do you do something else?
I believe he would follow. Just being able to see, well, hearing the music first up and just hearing that like longing ache that only age would really like settle in your chest
Mhm.
is something that he can feel genuinely related to, and he would amble his way over there, making sure to give a small tilt of his hat to the chef before he makes his way, kind of standing towards the back of the crowd, just so his bumbles, who are, for reasons, are just unaware of anything else around them. So they're kind of just bumping into people and he knows that they will just bump into and make just a conga line of bumbles to the very front of the crowd. He's trying to stay back so his bubbles don't cause too much of an issue.
Mm-hmm.
But hearing this kind of music kind of really does bring him back to what was home for him for a very long time before he went on this journey. And he's just taking the time to appreciate that.
Taking the time to appreciate that. That is wonderful. I will say that you have one of the older Bumbles, don't you? You have a so your oldest Bumble, Doe,
Yes.
is it's almost like they're being similarly affected by this, and just sort of curls up next to you, um, sort of in like a camaraderie, like almost a commiseration of how this music is makes the old feel, as it were. And they're just sort of giving you a little bit of like emotional support, um, kind of like reflecting, because they're wise. They're going to reflect on something someone else has said, but this is terms they're responding to the music and they're reflecting to the music.
And
Uh,
definitely appreciates that commiseration, and he makes sure that Doe gets extra like head pats and like scratches behind the antennas. Just he deserves it. He's he's one of the oldest. He's been through so much dumb stuff that the other Bumbles have put him through.
yeah. Uh, Pippa and Juniper, how do you respond to this powerful display of music? As And I will say, Walter is the name of the raccoon at the food stand, uh, and Walter kind of points you to Delta.
I think Pippa starts dancing, and it's kind of like a little what like she looks a little bit like she's in her own world. Um, but she's just kind of closed her eyes and is swaying.
Okay. And
Juniper,
how about you, Juniper?
so Juniper hops, thanks Walter, and then hops away towards the music, but is like on the. Uh, I assume other people are admiring Delta's music. Hops away to the edge so that she is like practically right in front, but also is off to the side so that she can keep an eye on like literally all of her friends. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and then she just crouches down because quokkas are marsupials, like I think marsupials the word, like kangaroos, so they hop.
Mm-hmm.
And so then she just kind of like settles down and puts the ball uh fidget on the ground and is just like soaking in the music um with just these wide eyes. And then as as Delta sort of gets like a lull, or like one of the tunes is ending, she like is looking around on the ground, um and she sees a little rock, and she picks up the rock and she kind of rubs it a little bit, and then she sticks it in her pouch. Is there a like, buskers have like their guitar cases.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, yeah, yeah. There's like a little hat that has a mixture of like some uh, wooden wooden nickels, some shiny stones, what look to be like maybe some like bits and bobs from, um, the kind of currency that the royalists use, the people that are still loyal to the king of the floating mountain. You see a little bit of that currency in there. And you all, just there's like little like gems, like just pieces of things that people would use to barter. Like there's some fresh jerky in there. Like there's like a couple of things in his donation hat.
So when um, Juniper drops the rock into her pouch, she like reaches around. There's a little bit of like a rustle because her pouch is just full of beads. Um, it's a thing, little rocks
Mhm.
and beads, and so she like dips out some of the beads and like she looks at them and she picks out like three or four, and they're not fancy, they're not expensive, they're probably worth the same amount as one of those wooden nickels, but she picks out three or four and then puts the handful back, and then she walks up and she drops them in there, and then she just comes back and she just like sits with her eyes all big and the just resting smile on her face. And then you see her eyes dart to make sure she doesn't lose track of her friends. And she just sits there and enjoys it.
Uh, Go ahead and take a token for doing something kind without expecting anything in return. Um, Mostly because he was already in the middle of the performance before you dropped those beads, uh, and he finishes up his performance, and everyone is just applauding. Uh, and he's like, "Ladies and gentlemen, if you would like some more of that, please join me at Smoky and Stocks. I'm going to be doing a very special concert with some really talented performers, the beautiful Pearl and the amazingly talented troubadour Maddie. So please join me there. I'm going to take a little break right over here, okay, folks?" And they were like, "Yeah, another one, Delta. We're definitely coming." As people start to disperse, and he heads over to a bench while pulling out of his pocket a little like silver hip flask, uh, and he's like, "Oh, may I help you find folks? Apparently, Walter pointed you in my direction." And he takes a little swig, and it kind of wafts with the smell of like a really strong corn whiskey.
Well, I think we're traveling in your direction.
My direction.
To the I'm sorry, what were they called? Juke
Uh,
joint.
ah, y'all never been to a juke joint before? Do they not have them in other parts of Hive?
Uh, I'm sure they do, but I'm somewhat poorly traveled before this present moment.
I mean, we used to have parties, um, but we, we, we wouldn't necessarily use the same name. Um, and so I'm very excited to see the differences.
Well, you know, with how hard people work around here, and I'm going to make a move as the place, which is show. Hold on. Describe them. Oh, hold on. Describe the mundanity of everyday life. As you see a bunch of people walk behind him as he's making his way to his bench, just carrying just bags and barrels of cotton, like just like I said, barrels, bags, like big sacks of cotton and wagons full of it. As they just kind of go past him, and they're just looking tired and haggard. And he's like, "Yeah, well, people got to celebrate, uh, after working so damn hard all day. Not me, of course. I can sing, play the hell out of this thing. So I managed to get enough money to keep my whistle wet and my belly full at all the various different juke joints. Too old for."
Laid that the truth. And
Um, oh, go ahead. Go ahead, Toby.
Farron's going to take a moment to kind of rustle through his like little thing, and he pulls out a small jar of honey and just hands it over to Delta. Continue to keep your whistle wet, especially with as much hard work as going around on here. I'm sure they enjoy the kind of music that you bring around.
just vanished there for a second. Yeah, so he enjoys the honey, enjoys the time to sit down, and he's like, "Well, I'd be more than happy to show you folks where Smokey and Stock's place is. You know, why don't you? It looks like y'all already got some food, so you need a place to stay."
That would be kind of
I
you.
think we will. Yes.
Okay, well, I will talk to the owners of the juke joint and see if y'all can stay. It's a essentially a refurbished barn, so there should be plenty of places for y'all. If y'all are just staying for sunrise, then y'all can rest there. Just word of advice: unless you plan on settling down, don't stay in Pale Moon Junction for too long.
Why is that?
Why?
Well, it's not exactly like the rest of Hyde here. Uh, it's this isn't the kind of place where you're gonna get some good hospitality tonight. You're gonna get some good eating, but stay too long. And he kind of looks nervously at Pippa and then shakes it off. You don't want to get a whiff because if you stay here too long, the peddler barons are gonna expect you to pull your weight.
What was that look?
Wait,
You
I
just
can't. Yeah, I can't hear
Oh
you.
yeah,
You
yeah.
dropped off at the end.
Oh, sorry. He gave Pippa a nervous look, and then he said, "If you stay too long, the peddler barons are gonna expect you to pull your weight."
what was that look you just gave my friend? I'm really confused.
Well, I assume that they work as overseers for peddlers in the area.
No. Uh, this place is kind of owned by peddlers.
Well, that's not bad.
What does
Not.
that mean?
It's better than King's. Um, I will say that as somebody that was around for the war and when we were ruled underneath the aristocracy, but it's it can be a bit of a hard life.
So you're saying that they've replaced nobility and divine right to rule with these coins?
Yep. And he like holds up the one of the wooden nickels. You can take this to any of the general stores and you'll get food and supplies and everything you need. But the only way to get them is to work the cotton fields or as a shopkeep. I'm lucky I get by on tips and things from my singing.
And they'll expect. I'm still unclear on why you looked at my friend Pippa before not any of the rest of us.
Oh, well, it's because she's a peddler.
I see.
They're the ones at the
I'm
top of the food
traveling.
chain around here, and I'm just concerned that, she'll go back and tell her
Oh,
little peddler friends, what I said, and, I'll
oh,
get in trouble.
ah, mm,
Oh, I don't have peddler friends. Well, I mean, I do, but they're not near here. They're all over because peddlers. Well, all the peddlers I've met, we travel. We don't stay in one place.
Hmm. Oh, it's such a relief to meet a peddler that still respects the old ways of the open road and barter.
I mean, sometimes I think it might be nice to have a home, but in one place. I mean, but I do get to meet all these different people from all kinds of walks of life.
Could I perhaps share with you a poem that I've written about my friend? It might set your mind at ease, especially at this time of year.
That sounds mighty nice. And he just sort of leans back and opens his heart and he listens.
It's titled Pretty Little Wings. They do not let her fly, but she does not need them to do so. Her small legs carry her, dancing in golden morning sun, warming my scales, sinking into my core like laughter, like home. Her pretty little wings can touch the cloudless sky.
Mm, that is absolutely beautiful. It's a good piece of beauty right there.
I've spent some time with Pippa, and she is every piece of joy, so you can be comfortable around her.
Pretty little wings. And he pulls out his harmonica and plays a few notes. Pretty little wings. I'll touch the cloudless sky.
You have a way with song.
And you have a way with words. You have the heart of a poet, Sybil. Never lose that.
I don't intend to.
And go ahead and take a token for speaking your true feelings on the subject.
I love it when people sing and say nice things about me.
Also, take a token for speaking your true feelings on a subject.
Out of character, don't give me a token for this. Why did that just make me tear up? I'm like sitting here, what is happening? That was so beautiful.
um,
Now I gotta commission art and have the poem. Oh gosh.
you are having this moment with this old musician and poet, and I want to say that you all kind of continue to spend the afternoon together. He sings some more, you get some more treats, and the sun starts dipping down lower along the horizon.
Um,
And yeah,
Pip,
is there
Pippa,
anything? Yeah, go ahead.
Pippa also opens up like her poetry folders because she does. That's one of the things that I chose as the thing that I is like written words and stories and novels and things
Hmm.
of that nature. So I think she kind of opens it up and says, "Oh, this I got from a very nice tapir, um, and and he he illustrated it with his nose."
Huh. Are you showing Sybil and Delta this wild
Yeah,
display?
everybody's like some. Sybil has probably seen most of these before because I've had them for whatever. Some of them might be new, but it's just a look. It's a nose
I
print.
think I think Sybil kind of looks at them with you both anyway. Like she's seen them before, but she's watching for how Delta reacts to them because every new viewer is a new version of the piece.
This is some beautiful, beautiful work. This is what you sell. You sell books.
Well, I think it's of less of selling and more of
Great.
give trade in return, share it. We share the story, we share the music, we share our lives. you know we share it, and then it gets passed along, like those some of those songs you probably learned from people, right? Some of them you made up, some of them you heard somewhere, maybe they got passed along to you through a grapevine. These are the stories, these are the lives.
Be careful, Pippa. Stories have a magic all their own. They're very, very powerful. And even though we're at peace now, and he looks around cautiously, there's still people in this world that would want that power for themselves. You are an incredible individual for carrying these tales, and it's going to be my honor to buy you a drink at our juke joint. You're going to find a lot of people that are going to be really excited to look at some of your wares tonight.
Oh, Sebastian will like that so much.
And Sebastian's like antenna, like little kind of beetle antenna, just swirl happily, and like you can hear Sebastian, right? Like it's and you Sebastian is just like, I'm so excited. I want to try some of this mead.
We'll get you some mead. Don't you worry. We'll get you some nice mead. I think also Sebastian probably has a not conflict, not filled with conflict relationship with the Bumbles, but they probably occasionally like they're frenemies and they have disagreements on things like what is the best to drink and what is not. And so I will look over to my friends and say, I'm sure there will be all kinds of drink for everyone. You could all have your favorite.
I think during this exchange, before you got to that point, Sybil is probably going to like kind of scanning amongst the friends, seeing how everything is going, and probably like back up a little bit and quietly turn to Juniper. Are you doing all right, dear? Would you like some tea?
I would always love some tea. But yes, I'm doing all right. Actually, and reaches into her little pouch and pulls out the rock that she picked up earlier. I I got this rock earlier, and while I was watching Delta, and you can see that the rock is kind of shaped like a D for Delta, and uh, so it's a memory to remember what we're doing right now, and like hands it to Sybil.
Sybil's going to take the rock and um, like holding it in her tail and kind of looking around it from every angle. It's very pretty. We could probably polish it and make a very nice piece of jewelry for Delta if you'd like to do that. Okay. I think I am going to go ahead and spend a token to make some tea for everybody.
Ooh, okay.
That is my dark magic water one.
Mm-hmm.
I can prepare a pot of tea and invite anyone I wish to drink from the tea. I'd like to invite both Delta and the
Walter?
and Walter along with the party to have some healing tea.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, I think all of
Especially
y'all,
because Delta
yeah.
was talking about the aches and pains and stuff,
Mhm.
and so I feel like that would be uh, a nice thing to have before he has to go on stage.
Yeah, and
Um,
I think Delta uses some of the honey that Farron gave him to like sweeten the tea. If anybody wants any of it. It feels like this old man kind of like, for all the warnings he's given you, he seems happy to share. Just not what's in his collection hat.
right,
Sure.
fair
Yeah.
enough. Yeah. Um,
And I think it's probably I think you all are having this tea maybe like by the benches and like a little side area as the train station is getting ready to close for the afternoon in the like late
okay.
afternoon early evening.
As we are
Some of
drinking
the
the tea,
street lights are starting to like turn on in town.
I'd love to see if I can like put that rock on a piece of twine or something like that,
Yeah.
so that Juniper can give it to Delta as a gift. um, for his show, like as a good luck kind of thing or something like that.
Awesome.
I am
Yeah.
certain that I can't tumble the rock or anything like that to get it smooth, or
Yeah. No.
but
But
uh,
yeah. Yeah. No.
yeah,
That is definitely doing something kind without expecting anything in return. As you kind of you do the tea, and you gain that token, and you're getting it ready. Is there anything else while you're having this like late afternoon tea? Walter's already packed up, his booth. He's kind of sharing some of the leftovers. Uh, little like he's got little like grill cakes that he made that they're gonna go bad, and that you all can have with the tea. Um, is there anything anyone else would like to do along with Sybil during this little bit of tea before the sun goes down?
I think while the tea is being brewed, Farron is taking the time to kind of people watch and just see how people act in this town. Seeing the bustle of these people as they get the train station ready to close down, and just kind of observing the, I guess, lack of steadiness in a lot of these people's hands, because they've just been working so hard and so long that the exhaustion is very visible. And he starts to think about those warnings that Delta gave. And he is just kind of keeping an eye out for everybody who is taking part in the tea.
Right.
While that is happening as well, his one of the Bumbles, me, the more confident one, is trying to bully the stag beetle, who is much bigger than him, into into just letting him be the leader of all the bugs currently. He's just shaking his head.
Sebastian is just shaking his head. Like, no, you are too small. I am in charge. Uh, Pippa, is there anything that you would like to do during this moment of early evening, late afternoon tea?
No, but I think every so often you'll hear Pippa humming, um, just like the beginning of the song that Delta was singing about her, just quietly. It's it's this very sweet image, but because of my Pingu comparison, I'm just picturing the like round mouth noise from Pingu, just like the trumpeting noise.
excellent.
Excellent.
It's real good.
Uh, Juniper, how
So
about you? Is there anything Juniper does during this wonderful healing tea?
I think Juniper is. No, I think she's just like watching and piping in and like very in entranced in this moment in this conversation. And she is just she's like she's smiling. Um, and uh, I think the notable thing that happens is that her little ball rolls away, and then like unfurls and like runs in between the Bumbles and Sebastian, like trying to be a distraction. Almost like, how about let's play? How about let's play? And the pillbug fidget is just like the size of a house cat, like, and it is just running through, and is like tag, you're it, kind of deal. But it probably has no effect, because she can just fidget can just like run underneath everybody's legs, and it's just like okay.
Uh, the tea, once it's consumed, uh, you could see some of the tiredness and the fatigue and exhaustion on both Walter and Walter looks a little tired too after manning the booth all day. Just sort of they both look refreshed and with a twinkle in their eye. And Walter's like, "Thank you so much. That tea was excellent. I got to get back to my family. Thank you all so much. I hope you all have a beautiful sunrise. But I got 3 kids that are going to want to stay up all night and see the sunrise, and I got to make sure they're fed and taken care of, and that they get some chamomile tea so they don't stay up all night." Farewell, folks. Enjoy Pale Moon Junction. And he, picks up his pack and heads off. And Delta kind of looks after him. Sybil, I know what I said earlier about Pippa, but that tea, that's some powerful old magic.
I'm very glad you enjoyed it.
Well, know that folks here at Pale Moon Junction have a magic of our own now. And tonight, I'm going to show all y'all. Come on. We got a long walk through town. Lots of people to say hello to before we make it to the juke joint. And he gets up and helps, clean everything with like a surprisingly, this tea is like really refreshed him, right? Like he's gone from like kind of hobbling and, singing and playing the harmonica to just being spry, like he's young again. And for everyone else at the table, how does this tea make everyone feel, Sybil? Like physically, because we're dealing with magic tea. And could you give us like a little description of what you imagine? You've read how the magic works, and then everyone else is kind of free to kind of say how they respond to it.
There is one of the first ways that I ever learned how to meditate was imagining myself being dipped toe first into a cool but not too cold pool. There is a certain amount of feeling the water level rise over each inch of your skin, just a little bit by little, and lifting the fine hairs off of your ankles and your up to over your knees on the sensitive skin on the back of your knees, etc. I think there is a certain serenity that comes from that is in this tea that feels like meditating, like floating, like you're suddenly just a little bit less heavy, and uh and what Sybil thinks about when she's making the tea, the thing that goes into it, is the connectedness she has to the universe and that all people have to her. That all kith and kin are actually the same and yet unique and special in a very intense way. We are the things that we are the one thing in the universe that can decide that we matter, and that matters. So all of the universe is interconnected, and we get to notice how small we are, and that makes us incredibly significant.
Wow.
I think what I'm trying to describe is Om.
Yes. Yes. I'm going to give you a token.
It occurs to me that I am describing Om.
I know that I was describing, how does your magical effect work? But I feel like you have taken the move, take a moment to bask in the grandeur of the world and describe it to the table. So
wow.
please take a token.
I forgot
for
that existed.
Please take a token for that. But I want to ask, how does everyone else? Are there any moves that people would like to take in reaction to that, or do you have like something you would like your character to do that isn't a move in reaction to how this tea makes you feel before you go traipsing off into town uh, with
I think
Delta?
I I mean, the move tells me that I then do something with this, which I don't feel like necessarily has to be the case. But I think Pippa has a moment having had this tea and kind of humming along to her song that she loves. Um, and she sees kind of a butterfly in the twilight kind of catch a glint of just the light suffusing this butterfly, and I think it strikes her and she points it out to everybody, this just butterfly.
Yes, take a token for describing a tiny moment of beauty and describing it to the table. Uh, Juniper, Farron, do either of you have a reaction to like this tea, this meditative tea?
I think what happens is the same thing that happens every time he is able to partake in this tea with Sybil. He finally just kind of like straightens out his back, so he's actually standing tall like he used to when he was young, and he's taking the time, as he usually does as a shepherd, to just look out into the distance, just hyper vigilant, making sure that everything is safe and sound for his friends and his companions before he
Sorry.
is able to like genuinely like relax with the tea.
Hmm.
I'm gonna get you an OSHA inspector hat and a clipboard.
How about our little fool? How about Juniper?
I think that Juniper is calmer, while everybody else is feeling revitalized. She is feeling calmer because she rambles and she talks and she points and it she like her player is a little neurodivergent, a little ADHD, and so the tea kind of just like calms her and lets her like focus a little more, and but she also like bounces a little higher when she jumps or when she's hopping, hops a little faster, a little higher, and she just feels um, she just feels love, like that is she feels the love of her friends, and it makes her zen, real chill. She's quiet again because she's just basking in it all with her little resting smile.
And with that, feeling calm, feeling strong, feeling ready to tackle the rest of the night, Delta leads you through the little township of Pale Moon Junction as a spectacular sunset is painted across the sky in brilliant colors of yellow, orange, and little splashes of blue. And with that, we're going to take a little break. We're going to take some time, as Wanderhome says, to rest, recuperate, and in about 10 minutes, we're going to head to a juke joint.
I think our producer was
Oh,
wanted a heads up a little
oh
earlier, so
no.
we may be live for a couple more minutes.
Oh no. Okay. Well,
Now, this is
we're going to
where
take
the
a break.
penguins tap dance.
Yes, this is where the tap dancing penguin. But yeah, we're gonna take a little break. We're gonna rest. Our producer should have got a little bit more of a heads up, but I'm such a dramatic storyteller.
I love it.
Yeah, you know.
You know what's hilarious is I was almost like I should copy paste this into the video chat, and then I didn't. So
I
that
just
is all.
pinged I just pinged them so that hopefully they will see him. Okay.
Yes. All right. Farewell, folks. Our producer's taking us to break, and when we come back, we're gonna go check out a juke joint. Hello, everyone.
Hi, everyone.
Hi. We are actually back. We were battling some tech goblins that were just not wanting us to share the rest of the story with you, but we have defeated them. And we are here. Our travelers have arrived in a place called Pale Moon Junction, a place of juke joints, cotton fields, peddler barons that hold maybe a little bit too much power than they should, um, and have made some great friends at the train station. Uh, One of them being a raccoon musician by the name of Delta, and they are making their way through town, watching beautiful sunset, heading to Smokey and Stock's juke joint to celebrate the holiday of sunrise to greet the new year. So, during our break, one of our enterprising travelers was talking about uh, perhaps taking their time on the road on the way to the juke joint in the hopes of encountering something spooky. Is that correct, Sybil?
Uh, I'm. You got quieter just as I was
Oh,
as
oh,
you got to the question.
oh. Okay. The question is, you were thinking of perhaps taking your time on the road on the
Yes.
way to the juke joint, perhaps to encounter something spooky. Um,
Yes, I think Sybil is maybe not entirely consciously, but she's been thinking about the Haints ever since Walter told us
yeah,
about them.
Walter, about the Haints.
And so, yeah, and so uh like with that story running through her head, she's just sitting there going, I want to commune with the spirits.
Right, right, right. You
And so like as
know,
we're walking down the road, she's
yes.
like looking into all of the corners and stuff and
Here's a question.
anything out there?
Sybil, do you have any tokens?
I do, yes. I have one token.
There is a move that costs a token.
Wait, actually, I think I have two tokens. No, I have three
You have
tokens. Oh my
you have
gosh.
three, yes. So there is a move, and I'm sharing
Mhm.
this with you because this is a very in some aspects this is a very GM full game. And there is a move that says listen to the shared wisdom of the small and forgotten gods and ask the table what they tell you. Would you like to
Ooh,
spend a
yes, I would
token?
love to do that. Very,
Okay.
very much.
Okay. And then the flavor for that will be one of the hates showing up. You spend the token and you're listening and you're looking. And then before you all, an apparition reaches the edge of the wilderness on the end of the flattened, hard packed dirt road that you are making your way across. They're pale. They are wearing the clothing of a field hand. It's got a kerchief around their neck, a work shirt, some long pants that are kind of wide legged. Their, their feet are unadorned as most people in Heist because most people in Heist don't need shoes. You know, they have paws or talons, depending. Sybil, what kind of animal folk is this apparition take the shape
I think that um Well, common around here are, I think that, you know what? I think it's a crow.
Okay. It's a white ghostly crow with dark, deep, almost like midnight black pools for eyes. And they're just staring at you as you catch its attention. And the rest of the table, what does this haint tell Sybil?
I think it tells Sybil that one of I think it's the words it uses are that her art has brought something to being and one day it will seek her.
Interesting. Hope it's soon.
Is there anything else that the rest of the table would like to add to this bit of prophecy?
The Haints give her a warning of do not let those bastards take your spark.
I think that Sybil would interpret that to mean the ones who run this place. I think that I'd like to ask, in lieu of what used to be here, I think I'd like to ask, what was it like before the work?
Juniper, as the last member of the table, and Sybil asks that follow-up question, how does the Haint respond?
So there, Sybil is asking what it was like before the Petal Barons.
Yes.
The Haint responds, that they could fly freer and at all hours of the day, and people stood taller than they do now.
But to wrap it up and put a note on that and build on that as the guide, they weren't free.
I think
Peddler barons may work us to the bone, but kings always demand tribute and will distract you with breads and circuses until there's nothing left.
there must be another way. I think that Sybil is going to go into her pouch and take a small piece of paper and write one of the poems that is in her translated book of poems. Not her own words, but something that is about, specifically about the nature of community
Mm-hmm.
and family. And offer it up to this crushed spirit.
Take a token for giving an offering to one of the small and forgotten gods. As the haint reaches out its hand wing and takes the note from you, and it looks at it, and it lights up in a cold fire and turns to ash in its hands. Thank you for your hope.
You're very welcome. I'm glad I can give it.
Delta is going to make a move that he can always do, which is overflow with emotion. And say, all right, now, go on, stop bothering these living folks. Stop. And he like goes into his pouch and pulls out like a packet of salt and throws it, and it goes, and it's dark, like pools like turn red, and like, "Ah!" And then it just starts running away in terror as a line of salt is down on the ground.
Why did you do that? That was... We were communicating.
If it had kept talking to you, it would have eaten more of your hope until you had none left.
I'm going to do one of my moves, which is ask but why. And I want to, Juniper pipes up and says, but the paper turned to ash. Why is that what that is? That what that is? Is that it eaten? Is that it eating it up?
I don't feel
Very.
like I've lost anything.
Can you recite that poem from memory, every single word?
I think Sybil stops and like it's like there's a double take. Like she goes to, because she knows these poems by heart. She's
Yeah.
got them memorized. She's read them 1,000 times. And she goes to... These are poems that are from her ancestors, from her family, and from people that she doesn't really know because she didn't get to grow up inside of her own culture.
Mm-hmm.
And so these poems are really important to her, so she's got them in her head all the time.
Right.
And when she goes to retrieve that poem again and it doesn't come into her mind, and she's fishing about for the words and they just won't come, I think she starts to panic. And I think you can see it in her eyes. How could it take that? That wasn't... But it doesn't make sense. There's always more. There's always... Hope brings more hope. Hope makes more hope. How does this work?
Hank just eats it. Now, that doesn't mean if you find it somewhere else and read it again, you won't get it back. You will. But you freely gave that Hank a piece of your hope.
What does that do to it? Or them?
I don't know, maybe you'll lead it one step closer to the path of finding the way to the other side. Maybe a firelight will actually, or a cycle pump will actually be able to lead it on its way because of what you did. But what I know is that if you had kept talking to that thing, it would have wanted more. If not from you, from the rest of us.
Is there is there a way to free them?
Probably. I mean, if anybody really knew, Annabelle would.
Annabelle?
She's our root wisdom. She
Oh,
she's the one who gave me that packet of salt in the first place.
is she gonna be at the party tonight?
Oh yeah, she's cooking. She's doing a fish fry.
Ooh. I would love to talk to Annabelle about this.
I can facilitate an introduction. Sybil, I'm very sorry. I didn't mean to overstep my bounds. And you do have powerful magic. It was the reason why I didn't immediately banish it as soon as it showed up. I wanted to see what you could do, but
Not at
I
all.
was
Not at
afraid
all.
for you.
I was being foolish. I didn't understand what I was giving. And I lost something more than I expected. But I'll get it back, and hopefully it will provide them some warmth, and then it will have been worth it.
Farron is going to take the time to walk over to Sybil and offer a gentle hand and a bumble for comfort.
I think as Farron approaches, Sybil is going to lean against him because he's warm and Sybil is a snake, and snakes love things that are warm, and it is very, very comforting to just be near you right now. So I think she's definitely going to accept that comfort.
He gives her a pat on the head, and it's going to feel really weird for a hot minute. And I know it's going to be a hot minute, but it's going to come back to you. No matter what, you have that drive, you have that power to bring that back to yourself. And I guess what I'm saying is it's going to be okay.
Thank you.
Baron, take a token for doing something kind and not expecting anything in return. And also, Sybil, go ahead and take a token for speaking your true feelings on the matter. All right. Let us get moving before it tells the other Haints that somebody is freely giving feelings around here. Come on.
Juniper has taken her bindle and flipped it over and has the stick side out and is like hopping on the side of the woods, like fully thinking her little 2-foot self is going to defend from these Haints. But she's just got her bindle stick out, like
Love it.
She's so strong. I love her so
Knock
much.
it.
So
Careful with that thing.
Yes.
boom, we're gonna knock him out, right? Self-defense.
Won't work, but that's what she does.
Right.
Don't knock yourself out before you knock that thing out.
Mm-hmm.
I'm the fool. If we had dice, I would roll to see if it happened.
So you head down the road, eventually coming upon a big clearing in the middle of the wilderness with a big, huge, refurbished barn. Like I'm talking like a huge barn. You see all of these like little kind of carriages and some uh, grasshoppers and some stag beetles and various different carts and carriages all parked outside in like a little parking lot in front of the area. You see that there's various different like cat, well, actually not cat, maybe like large bird-sized fireflies that are kind of hovering around and flying around. There's these little like wooden poles that have buckets of like nectar inside of them, and you can see that the fireflies are kind of enjoying the nectar, and as a result they're staying around the poles and they're lighting up the area where everybody's carts and mounts are all relaxing. And you can see that there's like troughs, like water troughs, for all of the different mounts around to kind of have water and have food outside. And there is a small side door with a beautifully painted red painted sign above that just says Smoky and Stocks. And you see that there's the firefly light is reflecting off of the paint. Like the paint is like slightly reflective. Like maybe there was like perhaps some like iridescent crushed beetle wings that are maybe mixed in with the paint, causing it to like shimmer and shine and illuminate as you all head on up. And there's like a big brown bear in overalls and a floppy hat that is manning the door. And is like, Delta, you made it. And he's like, yep, yeah, Hoppy, I'm here. I brought some guests. Their visitors are going to be celebrating sunrise with us. Visitors? Well, we sure do love visitors around here. Come on in. And he like opens up the door. And as he opens up the door, it is just like light and music just comes blaring out. And he's like, we got plenty of troughs and such for your beetle. And I'll make sure that he gets a comfy spot. Is that all right?
That would be perfect. He likes mead. And the Bumbles, I believe, also care for. My friend can more clearly specify, but I believe they also enjoy mead.
Oh yeah, we got a little apiary over here around the side. If you like, that will keep them all corralled in and keep them from going out in the woods.
That'd be perfect.
Okay. I was gonna go as Pippa is going. I think the Bumble's like me too. I think Sybil's gonna be like, no.
No, the one that tries to bully the stag loves that stag's meat specifically.
Mm-hmm. Yep. There's also there's a side door to the outdoor apiary if you ever want to check on your bumbles while you're inside eating and drinking.
That actually takes a lot off of my mind. Thank you.
You're most welcome. You're not the first shepherd to come up in here for a drink.
Juniper like taps on Pippa and then can you put this in your wares, and hands the silvery black ball that is her roly poly. Can you put this in your wares while we're inside?
For safekeeping, of course.
Yes.
He can hang out with Sebastian. And Pippa will tuck.
Fidget.
No, I was trying to think of the physics of this, but Fidget, I guess, probably has like a hammock or something that we attach.
Yeah.
So
I
it's
love
like
that.
a sling.
Yeah.
So Fidget can just kind of hang in Beetle Land.
I love that.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a little corner of the newspaper still sticking out that like slowly gets pulled into because they just eat dead dead plants and stuff. And so they were especially excited about the newspaper with the little trimmings. They're in La La Land.
Yes. Uh you all, the doors open up, you head in, and you are just assaulted in the best possible way. As I'm going to make the move, like so confusion amongst the disoriented, as you come upon this big, huge, refurbished barn. There's a massive dance floor. There's a bar. There is like a food stand where they're cooking like fresh fish, like in like oil vats. And there's fresh fish, fresh bread, vegetables, rice, mixed rice and beans cooking on pots. There's a wooden stage where you see a young crow up there. He looks to be, adolescent, and he's got a big old banjo that he's playing. And there's a piano also up on the stage, and a fiddler. The fiddler is. Let's look at some of our common animals. I think the fiddler is uh, another raccoon. I love raccoons. Raccoons are amazing. So there's a little raccoon fiddler. Um, there is a coyote piano man, and there is this young crow up there with a banjo, just playing to his heart's content. And everybody is just dancing and having a good time. The place is like lit up with these lanterns that are like little shelters for fireflies. The fireflies are just kind of like resting inside of these like glass lanterns that are just sort of illuminating light into the whole place. And every now and then, like one of them flies down and goes out into the night, and then another one comes in and like lays on the lantern. And you can see people up on the rafters on the second floor occasionally, like taking like little planters and like dropping some drops of like nectar to all of these fireflies, so that they stay to keep the place lit up. In addition to like regular lanterns, they have like regular like oil lanterns around, but it seems like the upper lights, what's really keeping this place bright and shining are these massive fireflies. And everyone is just having a great time. There's a little side room that you notice that's being blocked off by a paper screen similar to the one behind me, but it's like red and has like gold brocade on it, and it's blocking off an area where people are at tables playing cards and rolling dice and gambling.
I think Pippa is gonna kind of waddle around and get the lay of the land.
Mm-hmm.
And then we'll go over to the kitchen area to kind of suss out the situation.
So over in the kitchen area, you see kind of behind the counter a fox, a red fox. She is beautiful and shapely. She's wearing kind of like a low cleavage dress that is like a rustic red. And she's got like a slightly, like grease and flour stained apron. And you can see she's just got it's like an open kitchen, right? Like even part of it, the windows are open so that, to get away from the heat. And she's just like coordinating with a couple of other folks to just deep fry as much fish and cook as much rice as possible. And she like looks up at you and says, "Oh, well, hello. May I get you something to eat? Can I fix you a plate? Welcome to we're having our sunrise fish fry."
Oh, this is just delightful. I, mm, my name is Pippa. And
Pleasure to meet you, Pippa. I'm Annabelle.
Annabelle. Delta told us about you. Said you know a lot. Um,
Well,
and
ain't that the understatement of the year?
well, we were well, my friends and we just came to town, and um, I'm I'm a peddler. Um, I I trade wares, not like the peddlers around here. I guess it means something a little different here, but I
Oh,
try.
you're one of the traveling peddlers.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
Me and Sebastian's my beetle. Um, we go around, we sell our wares, sell some poems and some books and some knowledge and some candles and some scents and some ideas and
would you like some space, darling? I can get you a little table area where you can set up some things and see if people can come up and barter with you.
oh, that would be lovely. But I also wanted to say my friend Sybil, and I'll kind of look around because Pippa didn't have a plan for this, but now has just decided, like, turns around expecting Sybil to be there. And I don't know that Sybil
Sybil's
is
not far.
actually.
Sybil's
No,
not
but
Sybil's
far.
not far.
I think it's surprising to Pippa that Sybil is not directly behind her, despite the fact she in no way communicated that she wanted Sybil to be behind her. And uh, so I hope you don't mind, Sybil, but this is Annabelle, who Delta mentioned to us earlier. Um,
Hello,
and
Sybil.
Oh, I see. This is very nice to meet you.
Come on, have a seat here. Let me fix y'all a plate. And she immediately starts fixing you a plate. Two pieces of fried fish, a heavily like I'm talking like a mountain of like rice and black beans like mixed together, some greens on the side, fresh tomato, fresh lettuce, and she just sort of serves them out in front of you. Would you like some fried plantains?
I think I'm perhaps a little rattled still, but this is we don't have much coin to offer.
Oh, it's fine. It's a holiday, and everybody gets a plate when they come. It's it's the alcohol that they barter for here.
Okay, thank you.
um, my friend Sybil earlier, and I think Pippa will look to Sybil to kind of get approval to keep telling the story about the um, but uh, earlier we saw, I believe y'all call it a haint.
Oh, are you all right? Do you need any help?
Troubled me more like I offered a bit of hope. I didn't think about what that really meant before I gave it, but it's I'll be all right in time, I think.
Hmm. Well,
I think you might be able to tell that she's putting a brave face on it and she's still really shook by this.
give me a moment. She goes over and you see her take some various spices and put them inside of a mortar and pestle and starts grinding the spices. And then she grabs what looks to be like a cup of water, pours it in there, and then proceeds to put it on like one of the like she puts it in like a small little pot and it just starts steaming and warming up. And while that's going on, what are the other two of you doing as Sybil and uh, Pippa are consulting the root wisdom? What are Juniper and Farron doing?
I
Uh, I will say Delta has gone straight for the stage.
I think currently, as Farron stands in like the doorway, and he sees this blocked off red room full of gambling. He is currently debating with a younger version of himself about partaking in cards. Something he used to do when he was much, much younger, but now that he is amongst friends, and especially young Juniper, he's like, not sure if that would be a good idea. Can't be that bad of an influence right now.
How about you? How
When
about you,
you
Juniper?
when you are having this internal monologue and you look to like Juniper to there is no Juniper.
Oh.
Juniper has like the second we walked in, just like beelined and is just like looking at everything, everyone, anybody who happens to look down and make eye contact. She's like, "Hi, hi, what are you doing? What are you having fun? What are you doing?" And it's just, and then she finds like an empty table, um, and uh, she hops onto a chair, and then she starts hopping really high, and Farron can see like her little head coming up, and is just like, I found a place to sit. Uh, I found a place to sit, and the others can like see that she's like, and then if Farron comes over, Juniper again begins to like try and make not really make conversation, but just be like absorbing what other people are doing, and just like saying hi to them. And
Uh, I think that as Farron, you notice Juniper like lifting up, and people's responses have been like, "We're having a great time. Happy sunrise. You staying up all night, sugar? You sure got the energy for it." And these are like the different things that people say as you make your way to the table. I'm gonna make a move, Farron,
Boy.
and that's specifically offer someone comfort and amenities at a price. Give them, and of course, it's give them a token if they refuse the offer. And the way this manifests is that a male fox who is smoking a cigar, or excuse me, smoking a cigarette, peeks his head from behind the screen and slides away, revealing more of the tables where people are playing cards and rolling dice. And he's like, "My friend, you look like the kind of person who likes to enjoy a few rounds of cards. If you got a few shiny stones or wooden nickels to trade, maybe some," and he looks up and down at your kind of shepherd attire, "maybe some fresh honey, more than welcome to deal you in."
He takes a moment, he pauses, he looks at the fox, he looks towards Juniper, he like stares at her to make sure that she is good, just giving her a thumbs up and a hello, and it's like, good.
I found a table. I don't like my mic stand anymore. I found a table.
So what do you do?
He the younger version of himself that like is currently in his ear being like, it's been a minute, come on, you can have fun, is immediately like, as soon as he sees how excited Juniper is and like really really just wants him to get over there, he immediately shuts him down and goes, I may join you later tonight, but I have a few friends I gotta take care of first.
Family comes first. And he nods to you, takes another drag of his cigarette, and gently slides the screen shut and lets you go. Take a token as you make your way over to Juniper.
All right. The young voice in his head is just, no fun, as he makes his way over and takes a seat next to Juniper.
The camera, as Juniper excitedly sees Farron make it to the table, swings over the crowd of dancing people and makes its way back over to the food bar, um, where Annabelle is talking to Sybil and Pippa
I think.
about. Huh?
Oh, go ahead. Please go ahead.
Yeah, Sybil and Pippa about things, and brings over some concoction. This is
While
for
this
you
is
to drink. Oh, go ahead.
while this is happening, this conversation between them, Pippa has 100% picked up a fish and is eating it like a penguin. Like,
Oh, okay. Um, uh, she sets down a steamy, like almost like a. Have you ever had a hot toddy?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, so it's like a hot savory drink, not quite a soup, not quite a tea.
That is
Uh,
not what I thought a hot toddy was. A hot toddy is just like tea with alcohol in it.
yes, but it's kind of like a hot toddy, but it's like a savory hot toddy.
Okay.
So not quite a soup, not quite tea, somewhere in between. Definitely medicine, but not like medicine that's terrible, if that makes sense. Okay. And she's just like, if you've been in the presence of a hang and given up something, this may help. And puts it in front of you as Annabelle makes the witchy move, uh, put together a combination of things to create something new. And you can sense there is magic wafting off of this. And it resonates with your magic.
I'm going to. Sybil's going to pick up the cup and just dip her tongue into it, smelling the tea, scenting the tea with quick flaps of her tongue.
You remember the first sentence of the poem, and then it goes away as you pull the tongue back. Like it's like, you know how you're like, and then it fades away.
Is going to go ahead and start drinking the tea.
As you drink it, you feel it's interesting because you feel the performer's memory of the poem come back. Not necessarily what it looked like on the paper, not necessarily. It's like the auditory, the rhythm of the poem, the like your recitation memorization comes back.
The resonance in my bones.
The resonance in your bones comes back. The thing that you were going to do to prove to Delta that you hadn't lost it just starts to ease back.
I think that
feel better?
that there's a that really warms me. I appreciate this so much. I think you and I maybe have some things in common. I feel a resonant kindness in this drink. I appreciate it very, very much.
You ain't the first person around Pale Moon Junction to encounter a hate. I have to heal people all the time.
It's an incredible kindness that you give, and I hope that all the people around you know how lucky they are to have you in their lives.
Well, allow me to give you something a little bit more permanent. And she goes into one of the many pockets in her apron and she pulls out this little bag, like it's about that big, little cloth bag. And less of a bag is like a cloth that has herbs in it that has been kind of wrapped with twine, and then she has like a like a hemp rope, like hemp string, like necklace, and she just says like, "All right, so while you're in Pale Moon Junction, I want you to wear this. This is a little blessing bag." And she's gonna make the move, protect someone else from the world, and this is gonna make it so that you're protected from the Hanks. They won't be able to take feelings from you, even ones that you're freely given.
Will it drive them off?
No, it will just keep them from taking, if you catch my meaning.
So that what I give is only what I mean to.
Exactly. Now it'll only
Gotcha.
work around here in these parts. There's a pinch of the earth of our town, of this place in there. So it's bound to this corner of Hythe. So if you encounter hates elsewhere, well, you done shit out of luck, sugar. But here, you're under the protection of Annabelle.
I, if I may, I have a question.
And I have
Or
answers.
I can tell. Um, is there a way to free them?
Yes. And I have done it before. The problem is there are just so many of them. Lots of people lost their lives during the war. And some people have lost their lives to working in the fields. And they're not just ghosts. There's more to it. They're tied to the moon, that and to the sun and to the earth. They're more like small gods than they are the dead in other parts of Hythe. So they're a little bit more difficult to deal with. You have to remind them, you have to pull them away from the spirit. Remind them that they were once people.
I wonder if we could do that if we came across another one.
Possibly. But y'all folks are just in town for, one holiday. You don't need to be worried about this. I have this town well in hand. Everybody knows what they need to do to avoid the haints. Everybody knows to avoid traveling at night. And anybody that needs help against them, I'm more than happy to give them charms and things to protect them and their families. And occasionally, when requested, if I have a name and if I have something of theirs, I'm able to lead them to rest.
Well, I think that's a very good thing that you do.
Feels to me like avoiding them. Everyone gathers together tonight. Everyone uh, plays and sings together, and they tell stories, and they get closer. And these people who are history, they're left behind by the movement of this place, the hardships here. Maybe avoiding them isn't the right way.
Maybe.
And I think I would like to spend a token to give something that has the potential to change someone fundamentally.
Oh, okay. What do you give Annabelle?
There's a poem I wrote about a friend of mine. He's taught me a great deal in our travels together. And the poem is titled Mud and Laughter. Experience shows in every movement, deliberate, not slow, sometimes not even careful. I saw him slip in the mud, chasing after one of his flock, flailing, flinging mud across us all, and the little bumble, confused, returned to him and bumped into his head, and he laughed uproariously at the little snuggler, now as muddy as he was. His vitality is reflected in the lives around him. His flank is strong, his hide is thick, and his back is so broad, his shadow feels like the safest place I can be.
Your words are so beautiful, Sybil. They are magic, all their own.
I think that the paints around this place are a little like a flock that currently has no shepherd.
Hmm.
Maybe they need one.
I think you might have a point. And something like clicks in Annabelle's mind as you can sense that your poem has inspired her to figure out a way to help the Haints. You're very clever, and I'm glad that you came into the town and shared your wisdom with me.
I don't know if I would have been able to do it without the bit of hope that you gave me back. So, thank you.
All right, sit. Enjoy your food. Your friend is obviously enjoying food. Oh, I'm so sorry. Clyde, Clyde, could you set up a booth for Miss Pippa to peddle her wares? And Clyde, who is a little like fox, rail thin red fox, goes over and sets up a little montage as Pippa gets a little booth, with all of her various books and papers and things, and people are, start coming up and bartering and such. But as that's going on, let's go back to Farron and Pippa at sharing a little round table, uh, as people are just sort of sitting around, drinking at the tables, telling stories, whispering and laughing into each other's ears. Uh, there's a less kind of like raucous song. Now there's something a little bit softer, a little bit more like folksy, as the fiddler is doing a solo, and the piano man is just like playing on the piano, and it's just the two of them doing no singing, just pure like home music, kind of like a dun, 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 like really like talking music essentially.
Exactly the type.
Juniper had focused on the table, not even considering that maybe Farron wanted to get food, maybe Farron wanted to get something else, um, and also is not paying attention to that and is backwards in her chair, um, like with her paws over the back of her chair, and she has found somebody, and we'll say it's like a robin,
Mm-hmm.
that uh, like made the mistake of making eye contact, and now it is their problem. Um, and she has asked this robin, what uh, what is this robin's favorite part of celebrating sunrise? Like, what do they love about sunrise, the holiday?
Well, I personally love that I always see every other sunrise. I manage to see something spectacular that I've never seen before. It kind of gets me through the rest of the year having to work in the fields.
Is sunrise your favorite holiday, or do you have another favorite holiday?
No, my favorite holiday is Candlemas because of all the eating.
Do you like eating?
Or not Candlemas, Candle Feast. He says Candle Feast. I like Candle Feast because it's really good eating.
Do you like eating?
Mm-hmm.
What what do you? Uh, I don't know. I just literally lost, blinked out of my brain. Um,
Would
do
you
you?
like to dance?
No, but thank you.
Why would you come to a juke joint and not want to dance?
I don't know. It's my first time at a juke joint.
Oh,
Not there.
I mean, I can lead if you like.
I thank you for asking me, but I don't dance.
Oh,
Can I
okay.
hear this? Is this close
Uh,
enough for me to notice?
they're on the other side, but I think
Okay.
for the purposes of everyone interacting, you could have come back with a plate of food for both of them
Okay.
right at this moment.
I think that Sybil is going to sit next to Juniper and say, and kind of lean in and whisper, um, do you would you like to not dance, or would you like to dance but fear it?
She whispers back, "My legs is too little. I don't dance very good."
That's not
Uh,
a problem. I have no legs. We'll dance together.
You're my new friend. You're my new friend. Dance with you. I guess us.
Yeah.
And okay, we can all dance together.
well, all right then. Come on, let's go dance. And the robin, heads over. The robin's wearing like a kind of a little dapper, like coal gray, like vest, with like a little flower on it, and just kind of hops on over and leads you over to the dance floor. And everybody is just sort of hopping around and bouncing, like almost like a little like a square dance almost. So it's pretty easy for the three of you to just kind of uh, get involved. The steps are really easy and repetitive, and it is just a hopping, a pretty hopping good time. As I'm going to describe the monotony and alienation of everyday life as well as the love and joy that blooms despite it. And I'm describing the love and joy that blooms despite it as all of these people in a refurbished barn that have been toiling all day in cotton fields and shops and at the railway are all just having a wonderful time, having come together with you all for the holiday, doing a little square dance together with all of you. Farron,
Yes.
you're back at the table. Sybil and uh, Juniper have gone dancing with this Robin. Um, Pippa is over having some great conversations with people who are people are giving you these like wooden coins uh and occasional shiny stones and like little bits of silver for your various different poems and books and things, like all like super excited. But Farron, you're
I want to be my agent.
and but Farron, you're at the table. What would you like to do now that Juniper is off dancing with Sybil and their new friend, and Pippa is uh, slinging wares to enthusiastic, slightly drunk people?
I I think Farron is going to turn around so he can watch his friends dance. And uh I'm not sure if I'm reading this correctly, but I would love to spend a token to allow someone to connect to him on a personal level. And
Yeah.
I'd love that to be Peppa, as like from across the way, she just sees this usually very just in line, very responsible old man beeline it towards towards the red room with the cards.
uh, Gilly? Oh, did you hear that?
Jilly, but close.
Jilly. Oh, yes.
Sorry, I was looking up the list of moves I have. Please, could you fill me in?
Yes, go ahead. Uh, Farron spent a token uh, to connect with someone in a personal way. And Jilly, you saw, Pippa saw Farron, uh, who's normally calm, together old man, get up and bolt for the area where everyone's playing cards near the red screen.
I guess Pippa will um announce that she's taking a break, and that she will be reopening her table very shortly for trade. And we'll waddle over to kind of just check that everything's cool in the
Uh,
card area.
so the fox uh, uh, looks up at Farron and he takes a drag off of another cigarette, a fresh cigarette this time. There's several other people at the table and he's like, "We saved you a spot. Have a seat. Hello. Want to join for some cards or some dice or some roulette?" And he points at all of these other tables when you poke your head in, Pippa.
Oh, I don't I don't think that would be a good idea. Um no, I just wanted to make sure my friend found something fun to do. Um you all right in here?
You see Farron open up his little cloak and he pulls out 2 cans of honey, and he looks over to Peppa and kind of nods at her and just, "Would you like to play a game with me?" Just kind of gesturing at an open seat at the card table as he rummages around again. And I'm not sure if I can spend another token to do something else with that, or if I
You absolutely can.
cool, because I would love for him to pull out this raggedy uh like packet of cards that looks like he's had it for such a long time. And each, as he like kind of fans through the cards, there's oddly specific cuts and lines and different sort of like things that just make it look like, to an untrained eye, Like they are just the worst looking pack of cards. But to somebody who knows what's happening, it's his pack of trick cheating cards so he can tell who has what card.
Oh, I love this. I am going to offer easy game that will hurt only strangers. Um, as everyone is going to fall for this. Everyone has been drinking. The fox thinks this is funny. Um, and the Smoky lets you use your deck instead of his deck uh, to play the next couple of rounds. How do you respond?
I think Farron currently is having an absolute blast. There's just a strange air of like youth with every sort of like
Like very cleverly, like put away your deck. You have your honey. You have not lost your honey, and you have all these shiny coins and wooden nickels, like a whole pile of them to yourself.
he gracefully plays a few more rounds. Uh he looks to Peppa to see uh her reaction and manages to just pull back a little bit of the fringe that covers his eyes to give her just a little bit of a wink.
And I think getting the wink, Pippa will see that we're doing fine in here, and will waddle back over to her table. But she has an idea, and so I am going to spend a token that I guess technically this would be give something that has the potential to change someone fundamentally, because my experience of this place and the people has kind of brought me to the conclusion that sometimes these people feel like they have less power in their lives because of their circumstances. And so one of the things that is on my list of things that I trade or value is gossip, secrets, and anything else valued by the rebellion. And so I think amongst the stuff is not necessarily written out, because I know that for people to have stuff that would be found could probably be bad for them. But I think it's items that I explain the significance of, that, this flower was once in the beautiful garden of a castle, and the person who owned the castle was cruel and would not let anybody else gaze upon its beauty. But one day, the people, they said, the beauty should be for everyone. And they took the power for themselves, and they took the garden and opened it to everyone. And now everyone may gaze upon its beauty and may take the seeds and spread them to form gardens of their own. And
I want to add to that.
Yeah.
The flower is a purple orchid.
Mm-hmm.
I modify that slightly.
Oh, away from a purple orchid?
Yes, close.
Ooh. Okay.
A sweet potato flower. It is delicate and purple, and it is very, very pretty and star-shaped. And sweet potatoes have these heart-shaped leaves as well. But there's also food in there, and it is. If you know about the history of the potato, one of the ways in which this is just me having a little bit of a hyperfixation on potatoes thing, but one of the ways in which they convinced people to eat potatoes was to take potatoes and grow them inside of walled gardens so that
Mhm.
they seemed more precious.
Right. I think that's cool, but
Sorry.
I only want to push back because in Wanderhome, one of the few things that are canon is that the purple orchid is the symbol of the rebellion.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Because it's based on Bella Ciao, which is a classic anti-fascist song from Italy, which is specifically about the purple orchid, which was like
I
the
think,
symbol of the Italian resistance, which is
well, and
like
I think also in addition to the flower, I think there are definitely other things. Like there are instructions probably for raising crops, right? That are
Mhm.
different than
Yeah.
the ones
And maybe like you hand out orchids and sweet potato seeds,
and sweet potato
like
seeds. Yeah.
yeah, or roots. Wait.
But I mean, another thing on my list is flowers. I also have the flowers tea and anything beautiful that yet fleeting. So I think
Oh, yeah.
because that's also part of my kind of point of connection with Sybil. And so I think it would make sense for Sybil to have shared with me the meanings of these plants and to
Yeah.
as we collect them on our travels, kind of s- have the idea of where they would do the most good.
So it's a long night and it's a rowdy crowd. I want to ask each and every one of you what thing that you would like to do for the rest of the night before sunrise arrives.
I would like, after Sybil has we've been dancing, Juniper and Sybil have been dancing with her new friend. I would like for Sybil to um I have a poem for Juniper as well, and I think this one is one that Juniper should hear, and it's just for Juniper's ears.
Would you
So I
like
think
would you
I'd
like
like
to
to hold
indulge in
that.
yeah, would you like
Yeah.
to indulge in the tradition of sneaking off as is
Yes,
tradition on sunrise?
I would love
Yes.
that.
Yes. Yes.
That is
Do you
actually what I was going to say. That is wonderful.
do you go off in the moonlight outside of the barn? Because some people do go outside to drink a little bit, and because it's warm, it's hot inside, and some people go out for fresh air. Do you want to go outside, or
Yeah.
do you want to go into one of the side storage rooms that are private?
I think outside. The poem has a very it's a nature metaphor, so I think that'll having the fresh air is nice. Um but yeah, Sybil is going to, like, after we kind of excuse ourselves and step off, just going to say it's really brave of you to try things when you're nervous. It's not bravery to do it unless you're scared. And so I thank you for dancing with me. And if I could share something with you, I think you might enjoy it. Would you like to come outside with me?
Yeah, let's do that. And she like hops along.
Um, so when she gets outside, she's going to sort of settle in, and for a for a moment, I think she wants to just sort of let the air pass and let like the calm sink in. And there's little sounds. We can still hear the people inside, we can still hear like whatever, but we're, well within the light of the tavern. But
Hmm.
there's moonlight and perhaps some clouds in the air and all of that. And uh she's watching for Juniper's body language, looking for her to find a measure of calm after the activity and um, the anxiousness that Juniper was holding.
I think it takes Juniper a few minutes because she's still absorbing everything. And, um, she had she fell over multiple times while dancing. And she is feeling a little bit relaxed about it because everybody was very nice. And I will, if you don't think this happened, then we won't say it. But like, and when Juniper fell, like Sybil's tail came and like just pulled her back up a little bit,
Absolutely.
so that she was like getting into it. And so she's happy. And then you see that she starts to like relax. And then she like remembers the Haints and is like looking around, kind of like a little mini patrol of like,
I think Sybil's going to hold
Haints
up the
around.
charm and say, "We're apparently under Miss I forgot the name.
Annabelle.
Miss Annabelle's protection now. So the Haints should leave us alone as long as we're here."
That's so cool.
It was very sweet of her.
Oh. And then Juniper kind of settles down. It says, Thank you for helping me dance."
I really enjoyed
she kinda
dancing
just,
with
like,
you.
settles.
After a moment, she looks off and starts reciting. A river, disturbed, the surface barely holding. Sometimes she rapidly crashes between rocky shores, and there is a panic to her turbulence, her urgency. But beneath, there is a depth she might never realize, and the heart of a wanderer, the strength of the waters. She will wear down those rocks in time.
Was that about me?
It was called Surface Tension. I hoped you enjoyed it.
I did enjoy it. That was so beautiful. She kind of just sits there, just kind of like, you see her get even a little more calmer. She's just looking up. I'm assuming there's a moon.
Big, beautiful moon.
She's looking up at the moon. She goes, I'm really happy that I found our little family.
Me too.
Both of you take a token for speaking your true feelings on a subject. Juniper, is there anything you want to do special for the rest of the night before the sun rises? After sharing this sweet moment with your friend?
I want to give Delta, after they perform, the little rock with twine jewelry that Sybil helped me make. And say, you were really good. And I found this rock that kind of looks like a D for Delta. And so it's just a little memory to remember this day because we made new friends. And Sybil helped me put it on some twine so that if you want to wear it, you could wear it on your neck, or you could wrap it a couple times around your wrist. I know raccoons have really little wrists, but it makes them be able to play instruments better.
Well, thank you, darling. I really appreciate this. And he like gets real low. He gets real low so that you can put it around his neck. And he's just like, oh, it's made of railway rock. It's perfect.
What's railway rock?
Oh, it's the rocks that they put underneath the tracks to keep it stable. What'd you think that rock was?
It's just a rock.
Mm.
I don't know. There's like so many different kinds of rocks, and
It love you
Delta
so
has
much.
fallen into the trap. Has fallen into the trap, and Juniper begins to pull rocks and beads out of their
Yeah,
pouch.
and I think that I think he spent some time with you talking about rocks, and I think he you know there's a moment while you're hanging out talking about rocks. He's smoking a cigarette, um, and occasionally, sings a little bit, about rocks, uh, and he is like, you remind me of my sister. She was a lot like you, full of life and energy, and got into all kinds of mischief.
Did she come to the party?
No, she ain't with us anymore.
Oh,
She's not a haint, but
well, that's good.
she's she would like you.
I probably would have liked her too. What was her name?
You're gonna laugh because my parents had a sense of humor. River.
It's a good name.
that's that's pretty funny,
Yeah,
but also it's really pretty.
it is. I thought so too.
It makes a really pretty name. I named my pet Fidget because he when he was a little baby, wouldn't stop moving, and I was trying to hold him, uh, so he didn't get stepped on, and he wouldn't stop moving. And she like grabs her cloak. She says, and also he ate this, and there's like a section missing out of her cloak. He also ate this, but he was only like a couple days old, so I think it's just fun.
I'm glad that I got to spend sunrise with you.
I'm glad I got to spend sunrise with you too.
Farron,
Yep.
what do you want to do for the rest of the night before sunrise rolls around?
I think I think what would happen is as soon as he walks out of the room with whatever bits and bobs he was able to win from those terrible games that he did, he would take the wooden nickels that he had, sort of take a moment to count them out, and then chuck them into the crowd.
Uh Everyone gets super excited as they're scrambling to pick up all these wood nickels. And coming up behind you comes the fox. He takes a drag off the cigarette, and he's like, "That was mighty kind of you."
I'll never play these kinds of games for actual winnings. I'm just here for the company.
Well, at the very least, why don't you come over here and have some of my wife Annabelle's cooking?
That'd be mighty kind. Thank you.
And he puts a hand on your shoulder, takes you over, introduces you to Annabelle, and Annabelle feeds you the biggest portions. Uh, some of the biggest portions that you've had in a long time. Black beans and rice, fried fish, fresh salad, and it's a good, hearty meal. Um,
And I think it's the kind of meal that really reminds him of where he came from and the kind of meals that he would oftentimes have to get his young son Rowan to eat. Um, but it reminds him a lot of home, and he very much appreciates that.
Go ahead and take a token for doing something kind without expecting anything in return after throwing all those wooden nickels in the crowd. Um, Pippa the peddler. How do you spend the rest of the night before sunrise rolls around?
I think Pippa spends most of it swapping stories and items and ensuring that the items that she thinks belong here find a home here.
Mhm.
And at some point, someone mentions Sebastian because they probably saw Sebastian arrive with Pippa. And so I think towards the end of the party, as it's winding down, she takes a group of people who are interested to go visit Sebastian because Sebastian loves meeting new people. And
Yes.
and so it's basically the equivalent of standing in the parking lot after the place is shut down, just
Yep.
kind of chatting with Sebastian and Pippa. Pippa is kind of telling stories of when she met Sebastian and all the places they've been and her friends, and she's trying to kind of thread in the stories of survival that she's found along the way and of people who are thriving and finding their purpose and of people who manage to get themselves out of terrible situations. And I think probably at least one person asks if they can like take a ride on Sebastian, and she asks Sebastian for his consent, of course.
Mhm.
And Sebastian, I would imagine, does not care because like one animal is of no consequence to
Nope.
Sebastian.
Mhm.
And so then there end up being beetle rides in the parking lot, essentially.
Yes. Yes. Uh, all of these wonderful things happen. An awesome meal, beetle rides, poetry recital, and music. And you all kind of gather together in a little group. You've got all blankets. Cots have been set out for you guys to sleep comfortably in the barn. The barn is, turned into a place where everyone is sleeping and resting and, layabouts and such. And as the sun rises and you're all together and you witness the dawning of a new year, are any what of the three sunrise moves would each of you like to do? All of you have gained a token because you've had fun with people you care about, even if you just met them. That one is covered. But of the final two, what would you like to do as the sun rises?
I would love to spot something fantastical and impossible that no one should ever get to see, and I
All
will
right.
happily spend a token to do it. And I would
All
like
right.
if I can spend extra tokens to share the site with other people, I will. I have 4
I
tokens. I'll spend them all.
I will gladly spend a token with you to join in that.
Mhm.
And I think that Pippa will smile.
Juniper is also going to spend a token, but would like to see something different. A thing that has not come up at all, but is very meaningful to Juniper, is that um, she believes that a small, forgotten witchy god accompanies her on her journeys. Um, and uh, but she has never, it's never even confirmed that it's real. Um, and I think she would like this in this moment to find out.
So you're looking at the sunrise, and you hear a little voice next to you say, "Huh, that's lovely." And you see this little vaguely humanoid, mushroom capped, uh, long hair, of like sprite person white skin, wearing a little red dress with like little golden bells sewn into the hem. And she's just sort of sitting next to you on the bench, kicking her feet. And you know that voice. It's the voice uh, of Celia.
Juniper turns. It's like, huh. I've been meaning to talk to you about that, that little graffiti that you left on the plinth.
Oh, well, it was fun. It's fine. Sorry I haven't appeared until now, but I've actually been away with my friend Ricardo. I hope you get to meet him one day. He's an axolotl,
I love axolotls.
and you'll love this one. As we're wrapping up, what fantastic thing do you share with the group? So,
I'm sorry. Let me just say, Pippa has smiled already, but I would like to share a fantastic thing with the group, which is that we just got rated and we're at 500 viewers right now.
Oh my gosh.
oh
Welcome,
my
Raiders.
gosh!
I see.
Welcome, Raiders.
Avantri. Oh, great googly moogly. Hello.
Hi.
Hey,
We are
everyone.
wrapping
We're at
up our
237.
we
Hello.
are wrapping up our wander home journey with some beautiful and spectacular things this group of travelers are witnessing on sunrise at the end of the year. So, Sybil, what spectacular and fantastical and impossible thing do the group see?
I think there is something in the clouds that, as they drift across the setting sun and the light turns red, and a glint in the clouds for a second looks like the windows on a great spire, and it looks almost like there's a whole city up there, or a place full of people, and it's impossible and it can't be, but we all see the same vision, and then it's gone.
Aaron,
Mhm.
what thing do you see?
I think as the sun starts to rise, he looks out, and in the distance, in in the very distance, where the fields kind of meet the sky, there's two figures, very ghostly, very faint, who see each other from across the way, run towards each other, and hold each other very tightly before they just disappear. And it's something that he tries to point out, but as soon as he turns to the others and turns back, they are just gone.
And with that, those are the final moments of A Season's Oath Interlude 5, Pale Moon Junction. Thank you so much for going on this journey with us. Thank you to everyone who watched. Thank you to everyone who donated. I have been Okami. I have been your guide. Please, my amazing players, tell us who you are, where we can find you, and one cool project that you're working on. We'll start off with Jilly.
Hi, My name is Jilly. You can find me at Oh Look It's Jilly, most places on the internet. Next Saturday, I will be on Valgigant's channel with our penultimate episode of our Kids on Bikes campaign. I will be playing Tansy, the popular girl. The soda company is trying to take over the world. There's shadow demons. It's a whole thing. So tune in for that and everything else. Tune in on my Blue Sky, where I will communicate to everyone what I am doing as soon as I remember it. Popcorn over to Addie, because that's what I did earlier.
I am Addy GS. I can be found at pigsflu.com in most places. I'm most active on Blue Sky. There, I'm pigsflu.com. And I am currently not. Oh, I am in my ongoing game of Pathfinder in a custom setting by Faye Umbria on Twitch, and our next game is on Saturday the 12th, I believe. Yep, Saturday the 12th, and that's in Europe, so it's evening in Europe, 8 a.m. on Pacific where I am. So, because I'm the only American at the table, and how many times I have discovered that I live in the bad place is. But yeah, that's me.
All right. Who would you like to popcorn it to?
I will go to Toby.
Hello, my name is Toby. I am mostly on Blue Sky at Toby Langley. I am a digital artist, as well as just a general tabletop guy. I'm gearing up for Art Fight, so if you happen to be on Art Fight, feel free to shoot me a message. I love drawing characters. And I will pop it over to Nicola.
Hi, I'm Nicola, or Nicola the Druid on the social places. I am a board member and programming director for Diversity Saves. We're a 501c3 nonprofit. And I specifically host or co-host our community showcase, where we feature creators from marginalized communities, BIPOC, LGBTQ, disabled, neurodivergent, the whole kind of spectrum, to give a platform and learn about all their projects. We've had Hector on there with House of Dreams. We put all of our VODs on YouTube at Diversity Saves. If you have something you would like to promote, our sign-up form is on our website at diversitysaves.org. I've got 2 of them coming up in July that I'm very excited for, and we just also have some fun stuff going on. And so, yeah, I'm going to popcorn it back to Hector.
Yes. So I am Hector Reyes in the mundane world. I am Okami all over the internet. I am the current steward of the House of Dreams, a TTRPG actual play creative collective of LGBT, BIPOC, and marginalized folks. Our flagship series has been What You Experienced. It's been a season's oath, a Wanderhome journey. I'm going to be taking a break, but we have lots of amazing content coming up over on House of Dreams. But until then, please go to our YouTube channel, House of Dreams AP, where we have our Vampire the Masquerade Chronicle, Dead at Heart, and the entire 16 episode run of a season's oath, and hopefully, fingers crossed, all of the interludes as well. This has been such a blessing. Please donate to PFLAG. It's such an important charity, and it has just been an honor to be here for Pride Month. Please stay for the next game. We have one, I believe we have one more game going on. 2 more. We got 2 more games going on. So the trade keeps on coming. We have giveaways in the chat, but until then, farewell, and thank you for going on this journey with us.
Happy Pride, y'all.
Happy Pride.
Happy Pride. Pride.
Happy Pride.
Bye.